On this week's ADCs of Wrestling, it's the first annual Predict-A-MANIA, where we give our predictions for WrestleMania. We talk NXT TakeOver, a first on the show, and we have a lot of fun with it. Plus, a few special guests as usual. So without further ado, here is Predict-A-MANIA.
Welcome to Predict-A-MANIA, the first annual, probably special. We're Matt the Mark and ADC trying to get you excited for WrestleMania. Who's going over? Who are they gonna pick? Who's winning the matches? I'm excited! I'm gonna puke! He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke! I'm getting too old for this, pal. It's Predict-A-MANIA! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah! Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know? He's got a few. ADC! Ooh, yeah, dig it! ADC! Let me tell you something, ADC! He watches wrestling! This is awesome, Michael! Do you know your ADCs, the ADCs of wrestling?
Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling. It is WrestleMania week. Welcome to the Predict-A-MANIA Extravaganza! Welcome to Predict-A-MANIA!
I'm very excited.
I'm fired up. I'm really tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm not that fired up.
Fired up. Yeah, but you know, once we get going, you're going to be just
Are we?
clicking.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I really?
Yes. You
Really?
always do.
Oh.
We have this conversation every week.
Oh, good. Great.
Matt, I'm not really into it this week. I'm tired. I was up till 3 watching wrestling.
You should do impressions, man. You got some good voices. I'm Andrew David Cox, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This is my co-host, Matt the Mark. Matt, thank you for being here on this wonderfully windy Thursday afternoon. Thursday this week because we wanted to watch NXT. We wanted to make sure we were ready for the go-home episodes and all the wonderful things that happen on those go-home episodes so that we could be all-encompassing for you guys.
Yep.
We're going to do the show a little bit differently this week. We are going to touch on some news and notes, and then we're just going to run through the cards and hope that our conversation goes to fun places based on that. And I printed out these really great little WrestleMania 34 pick'em sheets, and I will actually tweet the link out to where I found them on Reddit for people because this guy, his name is Jordan Nevas. He's an artist, and he posted them on Reddit, and they're really funny.
It's pretty cool.
It's got these little caricatures and like a little quotation and a nickname for each person. And if you want, you can actually check him out at Instagram.com/jeansvendor. It's also on Facebook under the same name. And yeah, just check him out. He's got some pretty cool stuff. So
should actually print some of these out and bring them to Mania Manor this weekend.
I think I will.
Yeah.
I think I'll bring everybody a copy.
It'll be kind of fun.
My way of ingratiating myself to the crowd. Be like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt, so you know I'm one of you. And I brought some awesome pick'em sheets for the boys, for the lads.
Yes.
Yes. I'm afraid I've got some pick'em sheets.
Should we get into it?
Well, I don't know. You know, we could chat first. There's room for banter off the top.
Sure.
See, it's under introduction, banter. It's there.
Oh,
Or
see,
banta.
so you didn't share that with me, so introduction for me is blank.
I'm actually lying anyway. I didn't write banter anyway.
Of course you didn't.
The first thing I wrote was about a Twitter poll I did, which we should actually probably check on those results as well, which might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
How was your week, Maddie? Did you have anything interesting happen to you this week? Or
You know what? Honestly, it's been kind of crazy busy for work. I wasn't sure I was even going to fit this episode in. So, yeah, just trainings and events and all kinds of stuff.
You've been a loyal soldier in the Great War, Maddie. You've made it here every week so far. We're on episode 7 now, which is
awesome.
Really good. Lucky number 7.
Hey, yo.
Predict-A-MANIA.
Yep.
You know, it's a big. It's going to go all downhill after this, buddy. You haven't done a podcast during the doldrums of like mid-June.
Yeah.
I have, pal.
Yeah.
I have. It's not something to look forward to, Maddie. We're going to lose our minds.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least after Mania, we have Raw and SmackDown after Mania, and it should be interesting for a week or two.
In May, we're going to be talking about how Kevin Owens is still wrestling Shane McMahon. It's still happening.
Man, it could happen.
Man, yeah, I was pretty busy this week too.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have pretty crazy hours, so I was doing mostly 10-hour days, and then like there's a lot of sports that came back. I work in sports television, and
baseball's back.
Baseball is back, and I didn't even have a chance to watch any wrestling until yesterday. So like you were joking off the top of the show,
I am shocked.
I had to watch NXT 205 Live, half of Raw, and all of SmackDown last night. Thankfully, I was able to do a DVR job and fast forward almost everything.
Yeah, the
on
go-home
SmackDown
shows
and
were
Raw.
easy to fast forward.
Yeah, but, I had kind of a crazy experience actually one night this week driving home from work. This is totally un-wrestling related, but I don't know. It's my life. This is me, right?
Let's hear it.
I was driving home, right? And I work, it was like 2 a.m. in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I see on the road, like a block south of my work, I see a dude on the ground with another dude kind of hobbled over him, like motioning for help. And there was like an older 60-something guy who was super drunk and had like fallen and smashed his face on the pavement. And I had to pull over and we had to like call him an ambulance and stuff.
Oh, so you pulled over?
Oh, of course I
God,
pulled over.
You're such a good dude.
Well, I mean, I like locked eyes with the guy from the stoplight.
It would have been weird not to.
Well, when you see somebody like lying in the middle of the road in a pool of blood, it's just kind of like
probably better
I should
to
probably
stop
help. Yeah.
Was this
was
still
crazy.
downtown Toronto, or was this?
This is I work kind of uptown,
right,
in Toronto, but it's a couple blocks away from like Yonge and Dundas, right? DSQ.
Okay. I was picturing like full on QEW. If you're not from Canada, it's just a major highway.
Right.
So
yeah,
in my head, I'm like, what was this guy doing on the highway?
No. It was on a city street, but late at night and just like in the middle of the road, like face first and blood. I was just like, wow. Anyway,
I definitely haven't had that happen to me this week. So,
but the ambulance came, they took him away, and I felt good for helping him. But hey, if you're listening to wrestling podcasts, I think your name was Ari. Mr. Older Greek gentleman who was like, I'm very drunk. I hope you're doing okay.
Well, there you go. That's interesting.
That was kind of a crazy experience.
Last
week I talked about dog walking. This week I talked about an old guy who broke his face.
Is this our new thing? We just don't talk about wrestling for the first 5 to 10 minutes?
It works for other people.
All right, cool.
You know.
Should we talk about wrestling now? That is a good story, but let's...
Was it a good story?
Anytime there's blood involved?
No, I don't want to glorify the blood. The guy was hurt.
We'll call it the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I think he broke his nose. It was really painful looking. I felt bad for the guy.
Yep.
I did a poll, speaking of wrestling.
Yeah.
On Twitter. And my cat, Gentleman Jack, is in the background right now trying to speak up. And I tweeted a picture of him out so people know now if they see him. And that cute little face, that's the noisemaker in the background. I did a poll, and it says, when will Undertaker appear? And it seems like most of Twitter, and most of my followers anyway, 56% said not until WrestleMania. And 40% said Raw, and then 4% said SmackDown. And this was before Raw, obviously, so people weren't getting some false clairvoyance based on the fact that he didn't show up on Raw. So it looks like you guys are probably right. He's not going to show up, obviously, before WrestleMania.
If we see him at all.
Yeah, well, they can't tease it and have him not show up.
It would be horrible if they did that.
Yes.
Even if he showed up on Raw after Mania, but yeah. And we'll talk about that when we get there, I suppose.
Yes. The other news of the day, it was announced, obviously, on, I think it was on a Fox Sports show or something, that Brock Lesnar is officially returning to UFC.
Dana White just laying the bomb on Mania. What a dick.
Yeah, basically says he will be back. I don't know exactly when, but he's coming back.
Like, he couldn't wait 5 days. Like, are you kidding me? To just completely ruin it now? That match is... I mean, we already knew the outcome.
Yeah.
But now it's like, what's the point of even watching it? They got to move it out of the main event picture, in my opinion, because of this.
There's a significant chance, a serious chance, of it being a pretty big boo fest.
Absolutely.
It's happened before. Brock Lesnar was involved last time it happened.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has been involved in a couple himself. Last year was one of them.
Yep.
The year before against Triple H was another one.
Yep.
It's kind of a recipe for a disaster for all the smart fans in attendance to just try to railroad this thing. I feel like there's a serious possibility that Brock Lesnar is going to be the one that goes in with more heat, though, than Roman Reigns.
Absolutely. How the crowd doesn't actually boo him out of that building because of this, I'm not really sure. I mean, we all kind of knew his contract status beforehand and that he wasn't really scheduled for anything after this. But, I mean, Dana White confirming it is just ridiculous. And I don't even know how or why he would talk about it because Brock's still technically suspended for his drug use from the last time he fought. So even if he does go back to UFC, he has to serve a suspension.
Is that true? That's crazy.
As far as I know, that is true because he never technically served it. He retired and went back to WWE.
Right. Interesting.
So, I don't know.
Does this somehow work in Roman Reigns' favor, or do you think that fans are too smart these days and nobody's going to care?
No, maybe it's me because I am too smart. Yeah, I paused for reaction there.
I was sipping a coffee, and also I was not moved by your mention of being so smart.
Fair enough. I already knew, or at least assumed, what the finish was going to be based on his contract, but the fact that Dana White has come out and actually said, no, he's coming back, we're just not exactly sure when, it just solidifies that Roman's going to go over, he's going to win, and there's no point to even having the match at this point, other than they had months of building it up.
Well, this begs a question that was asked to us on Twitter. I know it was supposed to be part of just 2 tweets, but our friend Chaluminati Bebe wanted to know if people should care about this WrestleMania main event. I would argue, I know you're shaking your head, you've already said they should take it out of the main event picture. I would argue that sometimes we as fans need to take a step back, shut the fuck up, and just enjoy the show, and enjoy the fact that Roman Reigns is the guy. Obviously, he's in that position. They've done what they can. Let's just enjoy the fact that it's a WrestleMania main event. And the last time these two guys wrestled, it was a balls-to-the-wall brawl until Seth Rollins came in and ruined it for everybody in a great moment. I'm not going to besmirch, besmirch the great name of Seth Rollins. But those two were going at it. Like, there were serious, legit, like, knees to the face, power drive to the face, punch to the face, all kinds of fun shit. Just like, you know, the way we loved that spot at the Royal Rumble when Braun Strowman got kneed to the face or kneed Brock Lesnar in the face, and then he punched him right back. It was like a shoot fight. It had that feel, man. The guys were bleeding. It was like, come at me. Let's do this, bro. Huh? Come on. I enjoyed it. I think it'll be a fun match. I'm not so concerned with what happens coming out of it, honestly.
I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree.
Just put the title back on Roman and let's get this over with.
It's what it's going to be, and I don't disagree. And I mean, even in talking about that was a couple years ago, right? So, I mean, Brock can't really go that long.
It was 3 years ago.
And even as one of our tweeters had asked, how long do you think the match will actually go? Shout out to Stu Little at SL Fricky.
I think it's just going to become a thing that just 2 tweets turns into just reading tweets throughout the whole show, and then at the end we pick our 2 favorites.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a good question because Brock's not in the shape he obviously was in. We haven't seen him
physically look as good to me.
No. He's got a bit of a punch on him. I mean, compared to regular humans, sure. But
have you ever noticed how badly he clearly skips leg day?
Oh, man.
He's like, look at my upper body, and then, by the way, I'm standing on a couple toothpicks.
But, I mean, I don't think he can go that long, and I don't think they're going to have the quality of match that you were just alluding to that they had a couple of years ago. And I think in wrestling and even in kayfabe and stuff, like the reality comes into it a little bit, and the reality of the situation is we know the outcome. So even if we can just sit back and enjoy the match, hopefully they have some cool spots, but knowing the outcome before it actually happens sucks.
Let me ask you this. What if we don't actually know the outcome? What if...
I was going to say this as well.
What if WrestleMania comes and goes and Brock Lesnar retains the damn title, and then they have a match at Backlash or on Raw or something the next night? The Raw after Mania is a big show. And Roman Reigns beats him there. Or there's some kind of, you know...
Heyman turns something.
Yeah, there's some kind of shenanigans that lead to Brock losing and then leaving because they've sown these seeds of, you know, Brock Lesnar will not come back if he does not defend the title at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God.
So
Heyman.
That always makes me feel like it's the classic WWE bait and switch where it's like, if you're going to put this out there, just like the Kevin and Sammy thing, then the opposite kind of has to happen because these stipulations are so harsh. But then the obvious answer is, well, Brock's got to go, so they had to do that.
Yeah, so...
But it's WrestleMania. Vince likes to change his mind. Not tonight, pal.
The problem is...
You're still mine for 3 days.
And the problem is that it seems like Brock's contract ends at WrestleMania, though. So at this point, for that to even happen...
Well, we're fucked, pal.
Like Vince has got to go to him and say, like, listen, Dana fucked us. I'm going to give you $1 million.
Stay up.
Show up on Monday. You're going to win at WrestleMania. Show up on Monday, and then you're going to lose. It's the only way it makes it interesting. Otherwise, they got to get it out of the main event.
I mean, look, there's such things as 1 or 2 day contracts. It's not a problem to have Brock Lesnar come back on Monday with the title and say, I told you so.
Yeah. Throw some money at him, see if he'll come back another day.
Damn, was I bored with that Paul Heyman promo on Raw. Like, it just kept going on.
It's what it's been for the last... It's exactly why we said he should, or I said he should not be on
And it wasn't bad,
Oh.
but like I just started to catch myself thinking just like you and being like, you know what, this
It's the
really
same crap.
it's the same thing
over and over and over.
Yeah, it was fine. I like
We
that
kind
they
of
kind of
skipped
kept
ahead
it.
of ourselves here because
Yeah.
we were going to wait to talk about it, but
That's
whatever.
fine. Another big
Whatever.
news item for the week was this sounded like a lot of rumor and conjecture and hearsay, but supposedly Rusev did ask for his release
I was going to bring this up. Yeah.
a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and because of that, he was inserted into the U.S. title match. That doesn't sound like a huge consolation prize for me. I don't know if this is like, well, if you stick around, we'll give you a mid-card title again.
Well, the thing is, we'll talk about the match
If he
in a
even
minute.
wins the match.
But the thing is that, and I think it's in their contracts, is if you're on the kickoff show, you don't get profits from WrestleMania.
Right.
So this is even if it is just the U.S. title, and
See,
even
that
if he
makes me
doesn't
believe
win,
the Andre Battle Royals in the kickoff show. By the way, did they show what's in the kickoff show?
yeah,
on
it's
the card?
announced.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because people were
I'll
complaining
tell you that
about,
I was right later.
I said Nia Jackson and Alexa Bliss wouldn't be on the main card, and I read people complaining about that match not being in the card. So I think I was right.
Well, you weren't.
Shut up.
I know the 3 matches. The whole world knows the 3 matches. You should
Except
know
for
the
me.
3 matches. It's Andre the Battle Royal Giant.
Andre the Battle Royal Giant. I am the Andre the Battle Royal Giant. I walk around with 20 men inside me all the time.
Cruiserweight.
It's very sexual in sound, but it's not in actuality sexual.
The Cruiserweight Championship.
I am also a cruiserweight.
And then the Women's Battle Royal.
Really? Both, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not shocked. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right.
Yeah, no, with the Rusev thing, I think it was just kind of like
Worst thing, I gotta
apparently
eat,
his
bro.
merch sales are like top of the company right now.
Oh, yeah. He's the top guy.
So him
Top merch
threatening to leave and taking that revenue away makes sense that they were like,
Of
okay,
course.
we'll throw you in this title picture.
Well, good for him
whatever.
for speaking
So
up and saying something, along the lines of, I mean much more than you're making me mean.
It's a risky line though, because who's the next guy that's going to be like, well, I'm selling a bunch of shirts. I want a title shot.
Dolph Ziggler.
I don't think he's selling shit.
You had your U.S. title shot, Ziggler. Actually, no, he had a WWE title shot.
Yeah, he was
recently.
in that. Anyway, so
No.
I'm glad either way.
No.
I'm glad Rusev's getting his shot.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's move on. Wait, hold on. What is? Oh, it's my Mach communicator. It's going. I haven't heard this since my origin story.
Oh crap!
Yeah, hold on. Let me answer this. Who's
Yeah.
this? Who's this? Hello?
ADC.
Is this Aiden English?
He likes wrestling. Ha ha ha. Yes, hello ADC. How are you on this wonderful Rusev Day?
Yeah, it's Rusev Day every day, right?
That's right, ADC. I'm here with the man himself, the Bulgarian Lion. Rusev, say hello, Rusev. Hey, then. What, are you talking to ADC? I'm elated to be here.
Oh, wow. I guess we have 2 guys on the line right now. It's Aiden English and Rusev on the ADCs of wrestling.
I didn't expect them to call in. We haven't heard from them yet.
I have a very special announcement for WrestleMania. Tell them the thing, Aiden. I'm going to tell them the thing. Tell them the thing about the Rusev Mania. Well, you've kind of ruined. ADC, did you know that this year WrestleMania lands on a very special day?
Is it Rusev Day?
No, it's actually yes, no, it's Rusev Day. You got it. You're very smart. He likes wrestling.
Yes, I do. I think he likes my theme song, Matt. He seems to
It
love
sure sounds like it. He's got the lyrics.
Questionable impressions indeed. And aside from that, I just wanted everyone to know that if I know anything at all about WrestleMania booking, it's the fact that Rusev won 2 matches going into this event, so he's a shoo-in for the U.S. Championship. It's going to be the Ru-S title, the Ru-United States Championship. Ru-S-A, Ru-S-A, Rusev Day. I'm going to win the Ru-S title, and it's going to make me feel better, and I'm going to want to leave. Buy my t-shirt.
I don't think it's going to be the Rues title at all,
That's
Aiden.
not how
I
it
think you're
works.
way off.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel about going into the main event there, the U.S. title match as a valet, Aiden? Does that make you feel good?
I'm really excited for this opportunity. I'm not jealous at all.
I never said anything about jealousy.
I feel great about it. I matter too. Oh, ADC, he likes wrestling. Do you know your ADCs? Rusev Day.
All right, that's enough. I think this has got to...
You got to shut that communicator off.
Yeah. See you guys.
Goodbye, ADC. I like you. By the way, remember when you made that song about me? Sexy Brute. Bulgarian brute. You know it, Machka. I like that stuff. The podcast is great. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Rusev. Rusev and Aiden English, everybody. That was
It was nice of them to call in.
Yeah, that was a hell of an appearance. My Mach communicator is actually
I thought it was broken, to be honest.
it's lay dormant for a long time, and I'm surprised it's the first time I've gone to it.
It sits on the table every time we do a show, and it just never goes off. So
Yep.
it's glad to see it's still working.
Well, what better time to improv a shitty bit than our
WrestleMania Predict-A-MANIA. Extravaganza.
Hey, if you're going to do it, why not?
all the celebrities are here, guys.
Yeah.
It's WrestleMania season. You
Everyone's
know?
here.
Yeah. Everybody's here. Triple H, are you here? I'm here. And if you don't shut the hell up, I'm going to hit you with the foam end of a microphone, and you're going to be down for at least 5 minutes.
I saw you tweet about that. I'm like, you know what? It would still hurt, right? The foam's not like memory foam or anything.
Would it hurt if I took this off my mic stand and just jabbed it in your upper back between your shoulder blades without you paying attention with the foam end? I don't think you would feel much of anything at all.
Baloney. We'll test it after this. I fully believe that it would hurt, depending on how hard you
All right,
hit it, of
ADC,
course.
ADC here. Lay down. I'll take this and I'll jab it in your face and we'll see how you feel about it.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
I think it would hurt.
I don't think it would hurt.
Should we get into some predictions? Or
Let's
do you
do
still
it.
have some
It's
news?
Predict-A-MANIA. Let's do this. Let's do predictions, Maddie.
Well, do you want to start with WrestleMania or do you want to start with NXT? Which
No,
will
here's
be
the thing.
better
I
show?
probably should have laid this out before the start of the show.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
This show is like really unstructured. We're very unprofessional.
Hey, keep them guessing.
One of the
Keep 'em
things
guessing.
that people have asked us about and that we alluded to last week was if we're watching NXT and all the great stuff that's going on. And I didn't want to do a disservice to the product by talking about it without too much knowledge because I have a bad habit of only watching the TakeOver specials and kind of falling off in between.
Yeah.
But since the roster has refreshed itself and has become so damn good again lately, it seems like they've hit that stride again. There was a bit of a lull there when it was like Shinsuke and Bobby Roode were kind of the only guys that were still around, and Finn had left, and Samoa Joe had gone up, and there was like there was that period where it just wasn't so hot anymore.
It was a little quiet. It was a little quiet.
Now you've got like the Undisputed Era. Velveteen Dream is coming into his own. Tommaso
EC3.
Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. You've got Aleister Black.
Yep.
Is just on fire.
Haven't even mentioned EC3, Ricochet.
No, and then there's like
Killian Dane.
fun new tag teams
Yeah.
like Street Profits, and you've got the Authors of Pain are kind of on the top of the tier now. Who else is awesome? Lars Sullivan. That guy's a
He's
beast.
kind of come out of nowhere the last couple months too, which is he was right at the beginning when I sort of stopped watching every single week.
He's just kind of
But over the
showing
last
up.
couple months, man, he's a monster.
He's
and
huge.
I like the way they built him up.
I don't think it's going to be long before we see him on the main roster taking on a guy like Brock Lesnar because Vince likes his monsters and he needs monster opponents. But let's run through the NXT card and we'll
let's do
talk
it.
about the angles and we'll have some fun. Let's talk a little NXT TakeOver because it's probably going to be the event of the weekend.
It's going to be amazing. Oh my god, I can't wait.
They have a real streak going
Man.
right now.
The
You
5
talking about
matches,
streaks? Not yet, Undertaker. You'll show up later, I promise. Yeah.
the actual match card itself, the quality of matches, and the amount of people they have on this card, there's no way it doesn't outperform just in terms of entertainment WrestleMania. There's no way.
On a base level, just speaking of NXT right now, I think I'm back into the point where I'm going to be watching every week because after watching like 3 or 4 episodes in a row over the last few days, it really does, and this is nothing new, but this is the first time I've said it on my show. It obviously harkens back to the days of like serialized territorial wrestling shows.
Yes.
And they're pre-produced, they're packaged. It's like it's a tight little package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a small package. It's the pulse package of TV shows.
Yeah.
And it's so well produced and just, you know, they jump all over. You can tell when the voiceovers come in and stuff. But this is the kind of stuff I used to love watching, like WWE Superstars, WCW Saturday Night, and all those fun shows that came on. And they would go to the studio and tell you what's happening elsewhere in the world of World Championship Wrestling and WWF, and they would, you know, tout their pay-per-view coming up and all this stuff, and I really like it. And then on top of that, the storylines are really well written, and we'll probably end up talking about that later on the show.
Ew.
Let's start off with one of the coolest feuds ever. I'm actually wearing my NXT TakeOver
Yes, you
Toronto
are.
shirt when we saw DIY take on the Revival.
One of the greatest matches I've ever seen live.
One of the coolest experiences of my wrestling fandom life. We were actually like 3 seats away from Candice LeRae at the time, and weren't quite sure. I actually had to Google really quick. I was like, I'm
pretty sure that's her.
I think that's Gargano's girlfriend.
And really, honestly, the best part about that, and she was there with Ciampa's wife, I believe, at the time.
Yeah, she was.
So it was actually really cool to see their reaction to it while we were popping. They were popping. They clearly didn't know. You know what? Maybe they were, but they had no relation to WWE at the time.
That's true, and they weren't on camera side at all. And
exactly.
There were no shots of it when we watched it back of Candice LeRae in the crowd.
Exactly. So it was really cool to see their reaction and like legit emotion when like they started crying after they won and stuff. So it was
like,
really
I swear
cool
I'm not
experience.
creeping you. I'm watching you because I know that that's your dude in the ring, and your reactions are amazing.
But having that experience has made this feud even that much more for me anyway, because you know how close they were, and I'm sure still are, whatever. Well, but and even just the way the turn happened, like you kind of knew it might be happening, but it was so good.
This new character for Tommaso Ciampa is so awesome.
Blackheart,
he was
man.
The Blackheart,
so good.
The Sicilian psychopath was like his name in ROH for a while, and it kind of works that he's working into it now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things over the last few weeks on NXT was just the segments where Ciampa would come out to the ring and just walk around, and every time he tried to pick up the microphone, people would just boo, and they would chant Johnny Wrestling, and they had the pictures, and you could just see he was just trying not to snap because he's fucking gone.
Yeah.
I got rid of this asshole. And it was so cool the way they executed that.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Thing with the sign where he went around and he was ripping people's signs up.
Yeah, it was so perfect.
He ripped one away, and Johnny Gargano was there. And
it just because I popped, but the crowd popped at the same time because they were paying attention to him going around the ring so much that they didn't see him come out from the back and put up a sign. So
it was cool.
It was so perfectly done. The thing with this one is this feud is almost a year in the making from when the turn actually happened, his injury, and then coming back at, I believe it was Royal Rumble, right? It was TakeOver and Rumble. So in
he came to get involved in that match against Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been such a long build-up, and everyone's been waiting for it, knowing it was going to happen, and even just the way he came back at Royal or TakeOver Philadelphia, I believe it was. But it was just, this match is going to be unbelievable because these two are so freaking talented.
Gargano especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's obviously on a killer run right now.
Well, and remember their match at Cruiserweight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cruiserweight Championship. They put on one of the best matches. So,
can this possibly be better than that North American Championship ladder match? Probably, maybe in a different way. It's just so different.
This one has a lot more hate involved, so I can see where
probably
on
best
how
storytelling
you
of the weekend, right? This or the AJ Styles Shinsuke match will probably have the best storytelling.
Yeah.
Well, this is Predict-A-Mania, and we can't yap all day about every match, but if I had to take my pick, I would say that the main roster needs our boy Johnny Gargano, and despite fighting as hard as possible, Tommaso Ciampa really needs to come out with a win.
Yeah, I actually am going to agree with you here. I actually wrote it down that Johnny needs to win to stay in NXT, and I think he's, whether it's main card or 205 Live because of what they're doing there, I think he's destined for one of those two. He's put in his time. It's time to move up, and I think Ciampa gets the win here.
Gargano would be a great surprise partner for Braun Strowman, too.
Oh, my God.
Because he is really small.
I hadn't even thought of that.
When you think about guys that are undersized, Gargano is actually like Daniel Bryan and Neville size small.
Yes.
He's a cruiserweight.
And he's got that persona where he could almost run sort of the same thing.
He's Johnny Wrestling. He's the underdog from the underground.
He's a small guy that could work on the main roster and not go through 205 Live and be completely over as soon as he touches that.
But would he be teaming with Braun Strowman or Brain Strowman?
Okay. Well, we're not even going to talk
Big Braun
about that,
Dudley. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
D. Braun, get a partner.
Anyways, I hadn't even thought of that. That's actually a pretty cool possibility if that were ever to come about.
That would be pretty cool.
Moving on. So we both picked Ciampa.
I just thought of something really fun, too. If they had to make a logo, they could do that little Johnny Wrestling logo and then just put a big, ugly beard on it.
You know what? Johnny Wrestling's got a beard, too.
Yeah,
it's
and like a ponytail.
Okay.
The brand new North American Championship. Beautiful belt, by the way.
Match of the weekend.
Ooh, it's red, bro. Ew, boo.
It's a different red. And the
Some
belt
guys were like,
great.
oh, this is how to make a red belt look good. I'm like, as opposed to the really ugly Universal title, which is gorgeous. People just hated it because it looked kind of like the other title and was red.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're stupid. Fans are stupid. Let's talk about it. It's going to be Adam Cole versus EC3 versus Velveteen Dream versus Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet. Take my money.
Yeah. This is going to be match of the weekend. It's going to have the best spots. It's going to have great storytelling. Even just to have Ricochet there alone and some of the stuff that he can do, and then to have the support of Adam Cole and EC3 as well, this could be match of the year.
This is like a really cool situation too, where, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Ricochet or EC3 have had any televised matches yet.
Nope.
Like they've both been at shows. I've seen stuff on Twitter, but I haven't seen them on the actual prepackaged product. So
Ricochet maybe one.
Possibly Ricochet?
Maybe one.
If I had to pick, I would say, since it's going to be an undercard belt, you don't want to throw it on Adam Cole. Killian Dane seems too big, and so does Lars Sullivan, like size-wise, for a title like this. I would put this on your hot new babyface Ricochet.
Okay, interesting. I actually didn't pick Ricochet. I think Ricochet and EC3 are better in the chase because it keeps it interesting, and I think Velveteen Dream walks away with this.
Okay. Yeah,
he's put his time in as well. So
I forgot about Velveteen. That's
he's
a good one.
so friggin' good. He's so good.
Is he not like also an NXT World Title guy? Do you think in the making? He's a big dude.
He could be, but I don't think that's where he's going after this. I think
our heads are in kind of the same place. You throw it on a hot baby face to give them something to claim and to defend. Well,
Velveteen's technically a heel, but everyone loves him. He's got that heel face sort of thing going on. That's true. So
EC3, by the way, EC3 is his character is definitely more geared towards a heel character too. It's kind of like that Bobby Roode, like he's in the 1%. He's wearing suits.
Yeah.
A little NX3. That was a great chant. The other night he came out and they started chanting NX3, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I like that."
Man, NXT fans, Full Sail always finds the best chants.
Yeah. EC3 also looks like he just like dunked himself in like brown paint before he walked out. Like he took the stuff you put in like your baseball mitt, and just slathered it all over himself. He's been spending a little too much time outside of that infinity pool. All right, let's talk about the Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne.
Yeah,
it's the finals of the Dusty Classic NXT Championship, baby.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, this week, or I guess last night, they actually had the match to see who would win the Dusty Classic.
Yeah,
Undisputed Era comes down, interferes, DQs them both. Regal tells the story of like, "Oh, you're so smart, thinking that if there is no winner, there's no match." Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of cool. I like that they've come up with legit ways to try and get as many people on the card in decent matches than just like a battle royal sort of thing.
And it's new too because they've never done a triple threat match for the Dusty Classic. So
which is kind of cool,
right? It keeps it fresh.
Yeah, and I mean, how about Adam Cole pulling double duty here too as well? I know. Like this is kind of nuts, and this is why I don't think he'll win the North American title, because I'm actually picking them to hang on to the belt as well as win the Dusty Classic.
Yeah. And
they're going to kind of run as a tag team for a little while. So
okay. This is interesting because that kind of added a little interesting wrinkle to me as well for trying to pick this match, because I thought it would be a really interesting story. And if I were to fantasy book, I know we like to do fantasy booking on this show. If I were to fantasy book, I would have the Undisputed Era retain the titles in the Dusty Classic, win the Dusty Classic by underhanded means. You know, maybe cheat somehow, or somehow they get really lucky and they just hold on. And then Adam Cole goes on, and in that kind of same Shawn Michaels way, you know, lasting a whole Royal Rumble or being the workhorse kind of small character out there, he goes on and he actually wins that North American Championship belt too, holds that title, and they have the tag titles. Then you have like a real hot heel faction and one hell of a character in Adam Cole, Bay. But realistically speaking, I just think that that's great heat, like to have somebody, you know, sometimes people have to win a lot, and that'd be really cool. But I'm marking out here. Realistically, I think Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne would be a really cool tag team to win that Dusty Classic, and the Authors of Pain have already had the title.
Yeah, and they won the Dusty Classic that we were at. Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. And I think that Adam Cole, no. You know what? I'm changing it. Undisputed Era.
Okay.
Undisputed Era.
I was going to say, because I don't
Adam Cole's not going to win the North American Championship.
And Pete Dunne's not really full-time NXT either.
Yeah. I just thought it would be a good excuse for him to stick around and be more of a main focus on the card, because they've tried to figure out a way to get the Bruiserweight on the card. But
it sounds like there's actually Triple H didn't talk about it, but kind of alluded to that there's going to be something going on with the UK. There's some sort of division or something. Who knows?
Also, you know what? He would need major dental work in order to hold two belts up with his jaw. So
Exactly.
How's he going to bite into two at once? That's
enough.
impossible.
So we're both going Undisputed Era on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Based solely on logistics alone. He can't actually hold both with his mouth.
Yeah, I do like the thought of Adam Cole kind of having both, and I think that would have been more possible if Fish didn't get hurt.
Right.
So
maybe that
would have been really cool, and maybe that's what they were, and just had to kind of fix it up. So
he's wonderful because he's Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
yeah. So
All right,
how about
Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. Here's something we've never really talked about on the show, but given how Ronda Rousey's had some struggles lately with her persona, with her charisma, she came off as very nonchalant in the ring. She kind of botched her line on Monday Night Raw when she was trying to ask Steph about which hand was her main hand. It wasn't as bad as
people made it.
No, it just wasn't great. It was just kind of like,
sure.
I just wanted to know which one. So when I can, because when I break it,
it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that.
I exaggerate things, Maddie. I made a whole song about her pointing at the WrestleMania sign.
It's the nice thing is the crowd kind of saved her because they popped because they knew where she was going.
But then it threw her off.
But it threw her off.
She was like, oh my God, they like it.
Whoops, oops. But anyways,
Shayna Baszler,
man,
is exactly what Ronda Rousey should be.
Absolutely.
And she's a great example of what a couple years in developmental can do for you, because Baszler's been wrestling for, 3 years now? I think 2.5?
Yeah, I think so.
And
I don't think it's quite 3 years.
She debuted at the Mae Young Classic for the WWE after having done a bunch of indie dates already. Yeah. She'd been wrestling. And she's just a pure badass. Like, there's nothing sweet or nice about her. She's just scary. And she's a bit older than Ronda, definitely. She's like 37, I think.
I like the way they built her up though, because they didn't give her. They built her like a true heel that doesn't give a crap about anything.
Yeah,
because she hasn't had any like real matches. She's just like devastated people, and then I'm actually more excited for this match than the first one because of the build from the first one. Their first match was actually pretty good.
Yeah, at TakeOver Philly was really, really good match.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler. I think it's time to move the title off of Ember Moon and put it on her. And maybe we see Ember Moon show up at the Women's Battle Royal the next night or something, even though that's not a great introduction.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that I think you're right. It is time to move the title, and I think Ember Moon might actually be getting a bit of a call-up here. Not just for the Battle Royal. I think she might go main card. Maybe have one more run at as a rematch at Shayna, but I think Ember Moon's coming up shortly.
They often do that. Like they'll go and do their little armory tour or whatever after a pay-per-view, and you'll see a couple of rematches. But
they did it with Bayley. They did it with Finn.
Yeah. Here's a random aside. I kind of find Ember Moon's music to sound exactly like Asuka's music.
Yes.
It's the same fucking theme song.
Yep, kind of starts the same. I mean, I think they're both done by CFO.
They are both. You can tell they're both fantastic. By CFOs. They do some cool stuff, but they also sound a little samey. I kind of wish WWE, like they had Jim Johnston sticking around, just still making some cool classic sounding themes. Mix it up.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I've thought it for a while, but
you're gonna start telling me I'm wrong more because
you are so
I'm
wrong.
Starting to think I'm off.
The music
right,
is
a problem.
The music is completely different. I mean, instead of it's not even a face. It's actually like a big moon. So it's not even like the video's not even the same. I'm
gonna take it one step further. I'm gonna say that both of them also sound a lot like Finn Balor's music. They're far too similar.
Hey, don't touch Finn. I like Finn.
I don't want to touch the Balor bulge.
You're stupid.
Speaking of NXT titles. Another great one in store for us, most likely. Andrade Cien Almas El Idolo versus Aleister Black.
Yeah. This is going to be so good. I love Aleister Black. Love him.
He's
love
great.
His character. I love the way he wrestles.
As two losers who grew up liking, punk rock.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Being dark and brooding in
his
our college
intro
days.
Is by far the best in NXT right now.
It's pretty cool.
It's so good.
Still a little long, guys. NXT, cut your entrances down a little bit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at least they have fun with it.
No, that's cool.
Why not?
I get the pageantry. Right? I just feel like the Triple H is like everyone's intro has to be 17 minutes long.
But even when the band actually played him out, that part was
that was cool.
It was just
Code
so cool.
Orange.
Yeah, but
playing him to the ring is Code Orange.
I think
Nigel popping anybody out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Andrade he retains here. And I think we see a bit more of a feud between these two.
This is going to be the greatest match in the history of Ring of Honor. I mean, NXT.
Nice.
You remember when he slipped up? That was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your pick there? I was too busy teeing up my Nigel.
I'm picking Cien Almas.
Cien Almas. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to disagree with you on this one.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's time for the coronation of Aleister Black yet.
No, I think he's going to be a good chase, and I think we need to have like a.
It's just too
up
soon.
up until June, the next takeover. I think we need a better build up of these two because I don't.
Speaking of the build up, we haven't really talked about what they've been doing lately. But how have you enjoyed this build up? Like Zelina Vega has been a little firecracker, just a
awesome.
heat magnet, a rocket.
Yeah,
and just like.
She's fantastic.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the visual of her yelling at Aleister Black and him just sitting down cross-legged in the ring and being like, well, at least now we're on the same level. Yeah. And her slapping him in the face and stuff. She's a really good tool for Cien Almas, and I think that they're a nice little package. And I would keep the belt on them for a while because there's good matchups that can come out of this.
And they work really well together, and she's quite talented. So it'd be interesting to see if she gets into the ring herself at some point. I don't know, or if you.
I often assume that most women that are involved in wrestling in any sense tried to be a wrestler first, right? She must be a worker too.
Yeah, so
like even JoJo was their training. I used to watch. Barb was watching Total Divas episodes, and I saw JoJo on, and I was like, "Who isn't that the ring announcer girl?" She's like, "Oh yeah, they're showing she's trying to train to be a wrestler," and I was like, "Oh, I never knew she was ever even trying." But well, I think that was NXT. It was fun.
It's going to be.
It was fun to chat a little NXT.
Show. If you don't have plans to watch this pay-per-view, change whatever else you were doing because this is going to be unbelievable. Or make sure your PVR is set because these 5 matches will steal the weekend.
I don't know many people that plan on watching WrestleMania this weekend that won't at least check out NXT, but
you have to. You have to.
Yeah,
there's some people that don't
out.
even watch NXT.
There's a lot of casual fans that just don't.
Yeah.
Like the dads and the kids in attendance, like they might not actually subscribe to the WWE network. You know, they might not know that much about it, but it's
if you want to watch some,
it's hitting its stride right now.
Yeah,
again.
if you want to watch some crazy stuff, these 5 matches are going to be nuts.
Speaking of crazy stuff, did you have a chance to check out any of the 205 Live main event from last night?
I did.
Tuesday night.
I did. My favorite spot was. It was on the apron.
It's got to be. It's the only spot.
Yeah, fair enough. So on the apron, and he does this running suplex, but they miss the apron. Sort of like he just gets it.
Like Kalisto.
What the hell was that?
Kalisto hit like a quarter of the apron and flipped over. A running suplex from,
But that goes to show what 205 Live is doing now because people are sticking around and they're chanting and giving standing ovations.
The hardcores are. I don't know how many people were still in the audience, but
well, I mean, you only see one side of the camera.
They were chanting 205. They were getting the fight forever chance. If you asked me like a year ago if Buddy Murphy and Kalisto were gonna set the crowd on fire in a post SmackDown go home show, does this have something to do with the fact that those fans had been treated to garbage?
Well, maybe
the course
they finally saw something.
Like, actual wrestling, fight forever.
Please
make my ticket worth
it. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but it was a great match, and everything that 205 Live has been doing over the last like couple months has been phenomenal. Really,
it honestly was good, and I really enjoyed the public address by the world's greatest porn star, Drake Maverick. Just talking about how fans were going to go away remembering just the Cruiserweight Championship match rather than I forget their names right now, so that's a really bad sign. Hey, I have terrible recall, everybody, just so you know. I didn't take many notes for this show, and I was freaking out before we started the show. I was like, Maddie, I'm not going to know what the hell we're talking about.
Well, I mean, it is the only Cruiserweight match in the entire weekend. But
Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali.
Did you scroll down to look at that?
No. Yeah. Just came out the top of my head. Oh, there it is. It's right there in my notes.
It's right at the top, yeah.
See, Maddie helped me out this week.
Yeah.
As Nigel will call him, Mustafa Ali.
Well, I mean, before we touch on that, why don't we just move right into our WrestleMania predictions?
WrestleMania.
Can I give you one thought first?
Sure, if you have to.
I don't know if it's a hot take or if it's fairly legit. Yeah, watch your face on the mic, eh?
That wasn't my face. It was my arm. My arm.
Factoring in all 13, possibly 14 matches, is this the best WrestleMania card we've ever seen?
Oh, man. You know, you can't just throw that at me right now because now I got to look and be like,
I know we didn't even talk about it, but... Like, if you think of every single match, they all have there is no...
It's good, but I think it lacks that wow factor of, like, the gimmick match. Like, there's no TLC match on there.
True.
Which would be good. They could still I still think they should make that SmackDown match at the 11th hour, like a TLC match or a ladder match.
They did that exact same thing last year.
Yeah, they did. And it also kind of lacks that like pizzazz from the singles match aspect. Like the only singles match that's really, really like has people salivating on this card is Styles and Nakamura. And I think there needs to be a couple more, like, I don't know, some undercard match. Well, Charlotte versus Asuka right up there.
But I mean, even like
it's really solid. It really is solid.
Like if you look at it, there's not one where I'm thinking like, okay, that'll be the match that I go to the bathroom. Maybe the U.S. title, but I still care enough that I'm intrigued
because I feel like they did just enough on the Go Home SmackDown that I was a little more excited for the U.S. title match.
Yeah.
Like they made Rusev seem like a little bit more of a big deal.
Other than getting the pin and knowing that he
clearly he's not going to win. But I don't know. There's always the fun of trying to figure out how Randy Orton's going to whip out an RKO at WrestleMania.
But here, I'll throw this out to our few tweeters. Let us know. Do you think this is the best Mania card? And if not, which one tops it?
Good idea. Great idea. I'll put that up as a tweet on the show's account. I'll also tweet out the fun little pick'em sheets we're going to be using here.
Yep.
And you guys can interact with us that way. And also,
let's do it.
Don't forget, use the hashtag #JustTwoTweets to send us your comments and questions and whatever. And we're going to read 2 at the end of the show this week and next week and every week. So those are the ways that you can get in touch with us. Let's talk about WrestleMania 34.
Let's do it. Which one do we start with? Well, let's start with the 3 kickoffs.
With the order you put them in here.
Oh, okay, perfect. So
the Women's Battle Royal, which is on the kickoff.
So my first note here was, I was right.
Okay.
You were wrong.
Okay, whatever.
Woo!
I'm sure there was a lot of internal discussion about this, all right?
Anyways.
By the way, wooing is not your job, it's my job.
Woo! Fair enough. Yeah, it's... Whether it was on the kickoff show or the main card, I mean, it's cool they're doing it. I don't really have a lot of interest in it. The only way I find this...
My alarm is going off. My phone
time
alarm.
to wake
it's
up.
My March communicator.
The March communicator.
ADC, it's time for lunch.
That's live podcast right there, folks. Well, pre-recorded live podcast. Anyways, I mean, the only thing that's
silence
fairly interesting to me in this one is the possibility of Bayley and Sasha eliminating each other and their feud finally boiling over. I mean, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I think Dana Brooke wins this because who cares? Who cares who wins this? It doesn't mean they're getting a push. And maybe she was featured on the Go Home show.
Who'd you say? Sorry?
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
That's the worst pick I've ever heard.
I don't care.
That's a terrible pick.
That's who I'm going with.
You're picking Dana Brooke?
Dana Brooke.
The chick that holds the folder for the Titus Worldwide brand?
Dana Brooke.
Wow.
If it's not going to be some
crazy
NXT talent, because there's no point in Bayley or Sasha winning.
I had to do a double take there. I was like, I think he said Dana Brooke,
Yep.
but I was looking at my pick'em sheet. This is actually just distraction. It's not an 8 at all.
Dana Brooke. They need Dana Brooke because it really doesn't matter. Look at Mojo last year. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
Throw it on someone who
first ever women's battle. You know what? Okay, I'm going Becky Lynch. First ever SmackDown Women's Champion. First ever Women's Battle Royal Champion. It's a better pick than Dana Brooke. I'll give it that.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm putting too much stock or not enough stock into the fact that it is the first ever, or maybe you're putting too much stock that it is because you didn't even think it would be on the kickoff show. So I don't. To me, it just doesn't matter who wins.
It'll be the last on the kickoff show, probably. It'll probably be right before the main card.
Possibly.
When people are actually watching.
You're possibly right.
All right, let's move to the men's battle royal, the Andre the Giant battle royal. This one doesn't matter at all.
It does not.
No.
And they actually only have 14 I guess official entrants at this point. So do we pick through them or are we like I don't even know. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not even sure who's in it right. You know what? Okay. I tweeted this out and I'm just going to say it on the podcast too. I'm going with Matt Hardy to win the trophy because at least that way we know it'll never be broken.
Oh my god. You're the worst. I'm going
to make another pun about the trophy later in the show. If it's is that the one you're going to ask on Just Two Tweets?
I wasn't going to.
Okay, well then I'll just say it right now.
Say it right now.
You know why the trophy looks like a big hunk of cheese now?
Why?
Because it lost its mojo.
Ugh.
I'll be here all week.
I can't.
Try the veal.
What the? Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger.
Why not?
He needs something.
He needs something.
He needs something.
People like him. It'd be one of the only winners that would get a pop if he wins. I don't know.
He needs a perfect $10 worth of plastic.
And that's assuming, who knows? Maybe we see some NXT call-ups that get in there, but
Sure, there will be. There'll be some guy that comes back, maybe two, like some old dude.
Yeah.
Maybe Bubba Ray shows up. Who knows?
Get the trophy.
Tatanka.
Yeah, Tatanka can show up.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cruiserweights, Cedric Ali versus Mustafa Ali.
I'm sorry, Cedric Ali versus Mustafa Ali.
Did I say Cedric Ali?
You did.
Cedric Alexander.
You're the worst.
No, I'm
Get
tired.
some sleep, man.
I know.
Here, let me fix this for you. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali.
I just said it again already.
For the
I already fixed
Cruiserweight
it.
Championship.
I'm going to
Yeah,
hit
now
you
I'm just
with
being
a
a smart
foamy
ass.
microphone.
This, to me, could be match of the night. The problem is not many people are going to see it. And I'm picking Cedric Alexander because I feel like he kind of got screwed with the whole Zoe thing way back, and he had his chase and it didn't get to pay off.
He was on route to winning it already.
Yeah.
I think he's a little more marketable than Mustafa Ali too because he's just got a cool look, a cool moveset.
Yeah.
I picked Cedric too.
All right, that's fair.
I wanted to pick Mustafa, but
Are you writing writing yours down?
no.
Oh
I
wait,
should
we
here.
got these in front of us. We
Yeah.
can check them off.
Give me a little
I
check
forgot
mark
about that.
here, and Cedric Alexander's a little caricature face.
Yep. Cool.
I wasn't quite sure how to fill out this little battle royal part of the bottom, so
We'll figure it out. I
Says
remember who I picked.
For each pick a letter, whoever picks the letter closest to the first letter of the name of the winners gets the point. I think that's his way of joking about how just random and unimportant it is to pick the winner.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've
There we
checked
go. I
Cedric
wrote mine
Alexander's little face.
Yep.
Cute little caricature there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right, the Bar versus Braun and Brains.
No,
Is he going to have a partner?
Yes.
He will have a partner.
Yeah, they've kind of hit on it quite a few times.
They keep saying that like he
management
has to
is saying
have
he
one.
has to have a partner. They joked about the partner this go home show, so I think he's definitely going to have one. I'm glad that they didn't reveal it until Mania when they're all going to be. Stop hitting snooze.
I didn't mean to.
When they're all going to be in the ring, and then we'll hear the music. So I'll have two predictions here. It's the Big Show is his partner. Big Show looks amazing and just signed a new contract. And Braun and Big Show win.
I can't argue the Big Show thing because he even said he's not leaving anytime soon.
He
Like
just
it's
signed
like a
a
2-year
multi-year
deal,
contract,
right? Like
yeah.
multi-year often means 2 in WWE, but
Something.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's got to win at this point. It would be so anticlimactic to have the Bar retain.
Yeah.
I just keep doing. Hey, why the hell did the Bar? You know how they have like the logos sewn on their shirt, on their jackets of the thumb, like
Yeah.
this? Why do they each have it going the same way? Why doesn't one have
It
it?
should be.
Like they always stand on the same side. Why doesn't
That's true.
Cesaro have it this way and then Sheamus have it pointing the other way?
Maybe it just wasn't in the budget to print 2 patches, so they just made one design.
I'll tell you something, fella. Just print one of them and we'll use the same one on both. We don't have the budget for double patches.
What did you think of the Brains thing?
We did talk about this a
little
little
bit.
bit. I think it verged into unnecessarily silly character territory for Braun Strowman. And I hate to be that guy because often I like to just sit back and enjoy myself and watch wrestling. But there's just a real difference between that and what we saw later in the show where he just took Kurt Hawkins. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Jobber A or
Yeah.
Jobber B and just threw him through a wall,
Which was an awesome spot.
which was a great
Yeah.
spot. But I didn't like...
Here's your big break.
Originally, I wasn't a huge fan of Braun playing the bass, but then it became brutal enough, and it got over to the point that I was like, you know what, people love this so much that I can't hate on it. And then I made a song about it, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But when I was watching that, I felt like the crowd reaction wasn't there. It felt like a swing and a miss to me, and I was like, so, like, this big, mean Braun is going to, like, go out of his way. Like, let's talk about this. Braun woke up. His alarm went off, just like mine. He's like, today, I'm gonna play a prank on the Bar. I'm gonna do a thing where I go out and I'm like, here's my partner, and I'm gonna go backstage and I'm gonna have like these cute little taped together glasses, kind of like the Dudley Boys. I'm gonna get like a white dress shirt. What's close to my name? Brain. I love that gag. I can't wait to show you my partner. And he went out of his way to just prank them.
Yeah. I've said it the last couple of weeks. I don't like the pandering to the crowd and the joking around Braun. This was so poorly executed. It could have been good. I
hope you said you liked it. I thought it'd be more entertaining for people.
I could have liked it. Like it was the type of thing that I would normally mark out to, but to have him like if he had just walked back out there and then whether it's his music or whatever hits again and then it says brains across, then that would have been hilarious. That would have been really funny.
Even further.
But the fact that he stopped before he went in there and he's like, he kind of looks like me, and he's like that to me, right away I was like, come on.
I got a partner. I think you might know him real well.
So
we're actually closely related.
I actually think the idea was kind of funny because it was another way to at least get Braun to get his hands on the bar, at least in some fashion. It just wasn't executed well. I wanted to like it, but it was just so cheesy and terrible. And Braun, it just should not be that kind of character.
We're going to talk about Ellsworth later in the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert. You know how they would garner the absolute most explosive reaction for Braun's partner, good or bad?
What?
Hulk fucking Hogan.
Oh! I have a partner, and I think you might know him real well. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, my God.
And people lose their mind.
I would lose it.
But it's like, you don't know how to act. You're just like, he's back. This is kind of, I don't know. He said he was ready, and
I mean,
he's like, I'm here, brother. I'm ready to do this. Let's go, Braun. Come on. What you gonna do? Are you mad at me still?
He's going.
I'm here at the Silverdome, brother.
He's going through his motions to make a comeback, posing with Triple H and apologizing to the wrestlers, and those sort of things.
He showed up at the Andre documentary premiere and stuff, and it was a huge topic of discussion.
Massive.
It was controversial.
Especially since just before that, people were like, oh, apparently Hulk Hogan's coming back, and is he going to make an appearance? So
I'm ready to wrestle again, brother.
I don't think he comes back yet, but my God, that place would, the roof would just be blown completely
I just can't tell
off.
if it would be a favorable reaction or not.
I think it would. I think enough time has passed. He's doing his apologies.
Well, then you got to factor in the
but
fact that like Mark Henry is going into the Hall of Fame this year, and Mark Henry's a guy who's come out and said that he's not ready for Hulk Hogan to come back yet.
Well,
that Hulk Hogan has to do more.
Well, then maybe this is Hulk Hogan doing more, and we'll see him in a couple months.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence on that thing. Like, for Hogan to be front and center in these things is one thing. It's worth it to use him as a point of discussion,
yeah,
and to start the discussion and to get people talking about this kind of thing. But to have him actually there and be leading it and be present and stuff is a whole other bag. And
yeah,
it's very complicated.
It needs a slow build to get to that point for sure.
Yeah. Let's move on. The Usos, not Uzos. That's different. It's a food item.
Yep.
Versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Still no gimmick, as we previously mentioned. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. This one's kind of hard for me to call. But I'm just going to go out on a limb right now and say that they give the Bludgeon Brothers the tag titles at WrestleMania to try to get them over.
Wow. Interesting.
What?
Uh-oh.
Should have known.
Sorry. Steve, I'm saying I think that the Bludgeon Brothers will win the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Oh, hell yeah. Holy shit. Are you fucking serious?
Yes. He's really excited. I'm really serious.
Oh, my God. Let me put my beer down. Hold on. Hey, ADC, give me a goddamn microphone. Holy shit. He's saying that the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win the SmackDown tag titles at WrestleMania.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
God damn. I love the Bludgeon Brothers. Bludgeon Brothers won the belts.
Well, not yet.
What?
I said not yet.
No, they'll fucking win the belts. They're gonna win the SmackDown belts. Oh, hell yeah. If you think that the Bludgeon Brothers are already the champions in your eyes, and it doesn't matter if they win or not because you're goddamn proud of them, then give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, you fucking are. By the way, listen to Between Two Beers on ADC's YouTube channel, and then stay tuned. I'll probably do one like in a week or two, and I promise I'll take out the trash, and that's the bottom line. Also, I live on the bottom floor, and that's like, it's kind of like a play on words.
Yes,
I like to have fun with the bottom floor.
It is, yeah.
All right, you guys have fun. Peace out.
So I'm about to get stuttered.
Wow.
Because I kind of want to whisper it so he doesn't hear me.
Yeah, don't worry. He's out of earshot.
The Bludgeon Brothers aren't going to win.
Oh, my God.
I'm going with the Usos. I think, they put up a big stink last year and talked a lot about their moment. I think they've talked about it a little bit this time.
But they just haven't had a match, not a win.
True, but I think this is it. I think they're going to get the match. I think they're going to retain. I also think they're just way better as the champions than anyone else right now. They're legit.
Oh my God.
Steve.
Oh my God. Don't turn around.
What?
Matt the Mark, I've been right behind you this whole damn time.
Oh, shit.
And when you least expect it,
I can feel his breath.
you piece of trash, I'm going to grab you by the shoulder, whip you around, kick you in that big fat gut of yours, drop you on your chin, and then crack open a couple beers, pour them over your face, and then pour them in my mouth. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And that's the bottom floor, because I'm Basement Stone Cold. No copyright infringement intended. Peace out.
I have beer all over my shoulders.
That was just from his mouth, too. He spits a lot. He smells like old Milwaukee.
He stinks. That guy's got do you have a shower down there for him?
Basement Stone Cold hasn't showered in
God.
days.
Oh,
I got a natural musk, and you fucking love it.
A natural musk. I think the Usos win. I think they get the moment. But can I just ask you real quick?
Yeah.
What was with that weird promo? The two of them backstage, and then all of a sudden the Bludgeon Brothers just. And then they like New Day and Usos are like, oh my God, it's the Bludgeon Brothers, and they just clear out of the way so the Bludgeon Brothers can slowly walk. What the hell, man?
So I have kind of a funny story about watching that segment. I was fast forwarding as one does on a go home episode. And we should, speaking of fast forwarding, we're at an hour at this point, so we should probably speed up. But I was fast forwarding and I stopped when I saw the New Day, and I just heard them say, WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. And I was like, okay, fast forward. This is a commercial. And then the Usos walked in and I hit play, and then I heard them, besides, WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. And I was like, okay, I'm going to fast forward again because this is clearly for WrestleMania subscribers. And then I saw the Bludgeon Brothers walk in. I'm like, they're not going to be like, WrestleMania is free for new subscribers. But instead they just slammed the camera, and it totally ignored the guys that they have like a blood feud with because wrestling. Which
is funny because like every other time the three of them been around, the Bludgeon Brothers beat the crap out of them.
Well, they bludgeon bros.
Yeah,
that's
fair
what they
enough,
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
U.S. title?
Yeah, let's do this. Somehow we skipped. Oh, yeah, I see what we did there.
Yeah.
All right, Jinder Mahal versus Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton versus Rusev for the U.S. Championship. Wow, this one's really hard for me to pick.
It is. We also, like, we already kind of touched on.
I like Rusev. I'm going to say Rusev wins the damn U.S. title.
Damn it. I wrote it right here. I'm voting with my heart, even though I know I'm wrong. I want Rusev to win.
I beat you in the punch.
I want him with the title because Jinder, Bobby, and Randy are super friggin' boring right now.
Yeah.
The only way this is interesting if Rusev loses is if he's in the chase after this. Damn it! I hate you. I hate that you voted this. That you went with the same thing as me.
I probably should be checking my little boxes here. That's
doing
part of the whole fun thing.
I've been doing it.
I got to put a little check mark. Oh, look, there's already Steve did it for me. Steve did it for me.
It's already there.
Yeah, he licked it. He licked the check box.
Oh no!
Yeah, he came out. He's like, God damn it, ADC! I'm gonna check their box. I'm just gonna lick it so it soaks through with my beer breath. You're gonna be like, God damn! It looks like you picked the Bludgeon Brothers with your tongue.
Yeah, I think,
and that's the slimy thing in my mouth.
The closest match to a pee break on this card for me is this match. But I want to watch Rusev, so who knows? I don't think I'm going to pee the whole time.
That'd be one hell of a strong stream of pee.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Intercontinental title?
Quick thought on what they did on Raw. I really have a hard time getting into matches when it's the people who are going to be in the matches minus one person and we're supposed to care. As like, I know Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are having a great match right now. I know you're burning it down out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then what do you feel about this Miz character? This new Daddy Miz. Is this another Miz ruse?
I think it's honestly just for their new show. I think they're just kind of, it's a little bit of promo work, kind of show a good side to them.
It's really confusing.
It is. I mean, I don't know if they should be doing it on Raw, but
I couldn't tell if they were working us or if Miz is actually going to try to be a babyface, or maybe if they were actually trying to make somehow being a new father so obnoxious that it's the heel trait of the Miz. And if there's anyone who could get that over, it's the Miz.
Absolutely.
Who could be like, I'm so obnoxious as a father that I'm actually a heel because I'm an awesome dad.
Oh, boy.
Monroe Sky. Wow. Cute little baby.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Finn Balor on this one. I think, I don't know. Are you picking Finn too?
Yeah.
Damn it. I I don't know if The Miz is going to take any time off, even if it's just a couple weeks, but
I feel like this is a WrestleMania where they are going to try to give new people titles.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
and propel
too.
them.
Yeah.
And it's Finn's time, I guess. He's not in the US or the Universal title picture.
No. I think Seth has a I think
Seth has a SmackDown future.
I think Seth has a SmackDown future as well, which was another thing that I kind of wrote down here. So apparently Dean Ambrose, it seems like he's had a bit of a setback with his injury. Still not confirmed.
He's still on the lunatic fringe of recovery.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've just kind of just done nothing with the Shield. Like when Roman's getting beat up, Seth doesn't come out. When Seth's in, like Roman's not there. So I don't know if the Shield's just nothing now. And then if they move Seth over, I mean, they're just Shield's over. Like so I think Finn needs this a little bit more than Seth
so many
does.
more matches. All right, we're gonna have to burn through the rest because you don't have that much time left, my friend. Let's
I'll
keep
make
it
it work.
kayfabe, but we are
the next
running out
couple.
of time.
I don't have much to say about anyway.
Yeah, well, let's just make some picks. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. I thought there was a chance this might be on the pre-show, but it's not. I'm actually glad it's not.
Me too. I think it's an important issue. So
I think
that's why
there's the body
main card.
shaming angle to it. It only makes sense for Nia Jax to win this. If she doesn't, this is on par with WrestleMania 19 when Triple H said a bunch of like racist stuff to Booker T and then still won. At WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, Nia's got to win this one. It's also she's getting a ton of support online for this feud as well, which is kind of cool to see. So yeah, I think Nia goes over here.
You know what I would say, or Booker T would say rather, if Alexa Bliss wins this match?
What?
You didn't do that. Tell me you did not just do that. Sucker!
All right. Apparently you have a Booker T in you.
Yeah. Now can you dig that? Sorry.
It's all right.
That was very loud. I actually share walls with my neighbor.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they really look forward to Wednesdays and Thursdays or dread them.
Every week they must just hear crazy stuff, but
they've probably heard us do this show like 5 times. Well
done. Well done. Charlotte Asuka. So
let's retain the streak until next year. Let's do 3.5. I don't know. Charlotte can't win this. I don't think. Asuka's winning.
Yeah. So here's a bit of a wrinkle, and we know with WWE things can change with the drop of a hat. So grain of salt, but I don't know. Did you see what happened with the arena for SmackDown Live on Tuesday? They advertised a women's championship match, Charlotte versus Carmella. And they had to remove it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
all right.
My question to you then is, does Charlotte break the streak or does Carmella cash in and break the streak?
You can't break the streak with a cash in. I've said it before and I'll say it again,
It's
Maddie.
an official match.
There's JBL here saying that if they do that,
all
that would be the most disappointing thing since Borussia Mönchengladbach beat Wolverhampton Bayern Mönchengladbach with the Schlandesboogers back in the Bundesliga. I like German soccer.
Fair enough. I'm just saying.
That's a good point.
I called that a couple weeks ago.
Man, that was a really good point, JBL. That was if they don't get that point, you're the sucker. I've gone off the rails.
I'm picking Asuka. I'm picking Asuka as well.
Okay.
But as a half point.
Is that what you're trying to do right now? I'm sorry.
I'm picking Asuka because I don't think Charlotte's going to be the one to break the streak. And then I'm taking Carmella as a half point to come in.
There's no half points.
Calling it.
All right.
Calling it.
You just wrote Elias performance here, so I don't know what we're supposed to predict.
Yeah, because it's going to be a segment, but the main reason I put it is because there was strong rumor that it was going to be a nice little segment for The Rock to show up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Along with like Jeff Jarrett and so on. So, but
Jeff
now
Jarrett too. Yeah,
well, music, right? So, but now it seems
my
like
days working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow.
But now apparently, what was a 99% chance that was going to happen is fairly zero because they've canceled the segment, or at least The Rock's portion, because they couldn't get a solid confirmation from him. So
I can't wait to be alone out there with Elias.
So anyway, so that's just a little rumor there. If you haven't seen it, that's sort of what's going on with The Rock. Still possible he shows up, but very less likely than last week.
We're going to do this one last. That's next on the sheet. But
okay.
Let's move ahead. Triple H, Stephanie McMahon versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this has got to go the way of Ronda and Kurt.
Guess what?
Especially after Ronda got put through a table by Steph McMahon. I mean, she got the shine.
Yeah,
right
how about
there.
we give a little round of applause for Ronda taking her first table
Let's freak
spot?
my dog out. Let's clap indoors.
Yeah, perfect. I am actually taking Triple H and Steph.
You're an idiot.
And the reason I'm doing
You're a stupid idiot.
fantasy booking time, because Ronda's going to turn out Kurt.
I mean, I guess that'd be cool, but what you gonna do? Beat him down? It's not like the physicality on men and women is really en vogue right now.
Yep. No, I just I don't know. Maybe it happens.
You're either gonna make me look very smart or very, very stupid.
Hey,
this week,
you know what?
man.
I'm trying to have a little fun with this. Do a little fantasy booking.
I like it. You're
I
thinking
think-
outside the small check box.
You know what? Maybe they still win. Ronda says, "Hey, Kurt, thanks for helping me win my first match," and fist to the face. Maybe that's how it happens. It's my
knee to face.
it's my hope that Rousey turns, because we talked about it earlier. She needs to go the way of Shayna and be this badass, because the green or the face, she's too green for that. She can't handle it. She's got to be crazy. So,
All right, let's do Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with their jobs on the line. I think that's some kind of a red herring. I really think that they're probably going to be fired, and then they're going to have to figure out some kind of a storyline to bring them back. Even if it's as simple as stupid Vince coming out and being like, "What the hell? Come back." Because he did that when Shane lost to The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell. It's like, you know what? Run the damn thing anyway. Ha ha. Daniel Bryan has to win at WrestleMania in New Orleans. He has to win this match. He has to get the pin. It has to be a glorious return to action for D-Bry.
Daniel Bryan is going to lose his first.
Shut your whore mouth.
He's going to lose his first match back. And if he doesn't,
You're making me hate WrestleMania.
if he doesn't, there's going to be some sort of turn. But I think, see, Mania, they don't do a ton of turns, so I don't think they do it here. I think
You just
DB
think everyone's going
loses.
to turn heel out there? Just be out here turning heel, bruh.
I think they lose, and I think it's because Shane takes the pin. I don't know if that leads to some sort of feud there, but I just think that's they can't. Vince can't just be like, screw it, you guys are hired.
What do you think of Daniel and Shane making up, doing the bro hug and all that stuff? I mean, they did really
Perfect precursor to a turn.
Yeah, I can't argue that. You know, they did tell the story beforehand of the reason why these two would want to wrestle each other. So it's there. It's woven into the storyline and the seams of this match. The undercurrent is there. Let's talk about AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship match. I did actually kind of enjoy what they did at the end of SmackDown last night with AJ doing the fake out and a little pat to the head of Nakamura. Nakamura, again, really strong little interview segment. Came off really well. It almost sounds like I'm patronizing, being like, he spoke such good English, but I don't mean it.
It's not
even
even about the English. It's about the character. And
they just let him come off natural, and it was really compelling to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they did just enough in the build-up for this match.
They had to, because it got real boring and real stale.
Yeah.
And they stopped the dream match baloney. They're listening to the show. And I like that, 2 weeks ago, I guess, or last week, that Nakamura did the fake out. This week, they do the same thing. Even Nakamura's reaction to the fake out was perfect. Comes up smiling, but then gets angry.
Yeah.
I think all those little things were perfect.
It's funny to think how ridiculous it is in kayfabe that these two were tagging together like 3 days out from WrestleMania or 5 days out. When back in the day, these guys wouldn't, like, the way they've done it with Brock and Roman actually makes sense, because think back to the last time you saw Roman Reigns in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
It's been like a month.
You're
like,
right.
He's not been
You're right.
wrestling on Raw. He's been appearing on Raw because
You're right.
presumably in his
I hadn't
spare
even thought of
time,
that.
he's getting ready for this huge prize fight he has on the grandest stage of them all,
Well,
WrestleMania.
getting arrested, of course.
Yeah, and getting arrested by U.S. Marshals and straight up beating bitches' asses. Being out there hanging loose, bruh.
Yeah.
But, to think, if they had kind of handled this in the way of the video packages and having AJ and Shinsuke in their respective homes getting ready, the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart style that we've always talked about, because so sue me, I was 10 years old when that was happening, 11 years old. So it's something that's struck a chord with me and my whole generation. Yep. But anyway, I gotta pick Shinsuke Nakamura for this. He's gonna win the title.
Yeah, I'm actually taking Shinsuke as well. I think actually AJ's been kind of boring as the champion the last little while, and
he's a stalwart workhorse. But
I think these two stay together though for a little while. I think we see another match between them, not even just on SmackDown, but another pay-per-view.
That's what Backlash is for, Matty.
Yeah, exactly.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
Well, not much. We already talked about this.
Yeah,
Roman
we talked
Reigns.
about it. Roman Reigns.
Super disappointing that. I hope WWE tricks us, does something, but super disappointing that this main event has been essentially ruined for us.
Yeah, well, there's another semi-main event that may happen that's not on the card. It's The Undertaker versus John Cena.
Yep.
Do you think we're going to see Undertaker?
I do think we see him. I was certain it was going to be Biker Taker, but now I'm not so much. Jericho is 100% sure that it will not be American Badass.
Interesting.
I think we see an appearance. I don't think we see a match.
Well, John Cena, I mean, he went real low this week. He said that The Undertaker...
Oh, yeah, he did.
He lost his balls. Can't find his balls. And, well, there's only one person who could appropriately respond to such hate speech. Would be The Undertaker himself. He's been on the show before. Let's bring him back. Mr. Undertaker, how are you?
What? Oh, it's you. 1 second.
Okay. What do you do?
1 second. All right, I'm good now.
I'm not even going to ask. This might be the last time we hear from you, Mr. Undertaker. Okay, you know what? I cave. What are you doing?
I'm actually looking for my balls. Cena said that I left them in Orlando, and I'm calling pawn shops in the area to see if anybody tried to sell a pair of Taker testes.
What? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he was actually just insulting you, and your balls are, in fact, in your pants.
You know what? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, my God. You're right. They're actually right here. I guess he was just trying to get under my skin. I kind of want to fight this guy.
Yeah, we all want you to fight this guy.
Yeah.
I've been asking you for a response for weeks, remember?
Full disclosure, I've actually been way behind on Raw, and I just caught up like last night. I probably would have accepted like 3 weeks ago if I hadn't been so damn busy doing stuff at home.
Stuff at home? What have you been doing?
Having breakfast with Michelle.
Okay. This makes literally no sense. Like, what about all the Kane stuff?
The Candy Crush.
Yeah, that Kane stuff. And you digging his grave last week?
Oh, I actually do that stuff anyway. I dug a grave last night for Michael Cole, Bruce Pritchard, and that guy from the Facebook.
You dug a grave for Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, him. That privacy shit ain't cool. I'll see you at WrestleMania 39, Zuckerbish.
39? All right, you know what? That's enough, Taker. Are you going to have a match with John Cena at WrestleMania 34 or not?
Oh, yeah, I'll fight him. Big evil out, motherfuckers.
Wow. That was it.
Wait, did he just...
He said he'll fight him, and then he left. He just confirmed it. That was it.
Is it...
And he's also going to fight Mark Zuckerberg in 5 years.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah, when he can move. I mean, maybe he tombstones him? I can't see how they could fit in a match. Actually, and is Cena going to host? Like, is he going to sit front row?
I have no idea. I honestly don't even want to try to predict it.
I kind of like that we don't know what Cena's going to do because
it's entertaining.
It's interesting. It's different, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
We didn't have some weird build up. This was something completely different. So, I actually, on my sheet, I put an X through it because I don't think they're going to have a match. I think we see Taker, but they're not going to have an official match.
Some people are thinking that Taker shows up and then they like issue a challenge for next year.
Year-long feud. Bring it.
Just like The Rock, I guess. Once in a lifetime times 2.
Well, and really, I mean, Cena after this is going to be gone for a while. He even said it on Raw. Like, his schedule for the next little while, he's not going to be around. So,
man, if Taker shows up and just plants the seed, we could have him on for another entire year of shows.
Do you have that much content?
I think this week is evident that I do not. We're running low. We're going to have to start having appearances by other people.
Well, there you have it, man. That's all our predictions.
That's it.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's...
last segment of the...
Let's do just 2 tweets.
Do it.
The last segment before WrestleMania.
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey, yo. This is just 2 tweets.
Two tweets.
All right, 2 tweet me, bro. Let's do this.
All right, so we've got a tweet here from Jimmy the Jobber.
Yes.
At Samurai
Jimmy.
J on the
Jimmy
Twitter.
the Jobber.
And he asked, do you believe that James Ellsworth will be involved with WrestleMania in any way, shape, or form?
You know, I do think that would be one of the most fun tag partners for Braun Strowman. I know we've kind of said it before. I just don't know if they want to bring him back. I don't know. I don't think it's realistic. He's done the cryptic tweets though, right? That's sort of why he.
That's the thing. The last few hours, it's been about things happen for a reason and that sort of thing from James Ellsworth. So I think that's sparking people a little bit. Like maybe he got the call. Maybe he is Braun's partner.
Well, that would make you think things happen for a reason, right? You get released only to come back in a big spot at WrestleMania and be Braun's partner. You know what? Fuck it. Yep, he'll be back. He's Braun's partner.
You think so, eh?
Yeah.
I think he'd get a pretty good pop, especially if
he would get a great pop, and it would be the funniest thing ever.
Absolutely, and his music is actually pretty great. It's a good spot for the bar to take Braun lightly, and for Braun to hold the two belts with James on his shoulder as well would actually be hilarious. If it happened, who knows?
He just comes out wearing James around his waist.
Yeah. James is holding both belts and Braun's wearing him.
James
would he even
waist.
wrap around? I don't know. James L's waist. Wow.
This is my third title belt. He's a little pipsqueak.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And let's go to tweet the twice.
Tweet the second?
Yeah.
Tweet the twos.
We will go back to our good friend Ramador.
What's up, Ramador?
At RamoJH. Are you able to explain why the storytelling in WWE NXT is way better than the main roster?
I think it's kind of what we were talking about earlier in the show about how it's succinct, it's a short show, and it's that kind of syndicated programming that we used to love growing up, where they can keep it really tight and they can do voiceovers to explain what's happening, and they get to edit out the stuff that sucks.
Yeah.
And Raw's like 3 hours long, and there's a lot of stuff that sucks.
Yeah.
SmackDown has the same problem even in 2 hours.
I also think they take bigger risks with their storytelling as well.
And it's more realistic. And they keep kayfabe. All the stuff they show backstage,
it's all kayfabe.
It makes so much more sense the way they show stuff. Like it's guys showing up to the building, getting in altercations backstage, and then like William Regal coming in. And I know they kind of do similar stuff on Raw, but it's all just a little more hokey. There's no, illuminated backdrops in NXT backstage. There's no neon lighting in the back of an arena.
Yeah.
It's just an arena. It's largely in part to the fact that Triple H was around when they did things a little more realistically in the 90s, and he's trying to bring it back, and that's why it's so damn awesome.
Well, and it's even if you think of the matches alone, their match quality is so good because they take so long to work on it.
Yeah.
Like they're at the Performance Center every day for 8 hours a day, whatever it is, and they're working on these matches. So, I mean, yes, they're improvising while they're still wrestling, but they've got these spots that are easily set up, so it just looks amazing. But the storytelling alone, I mean, I just think they take bigger risks. It's not on your worldwide television, it's only on the network, so they can do a few more things. And I think you just have better talent down there that it will eventually make it to the main roster once Vince is gonzo.
Yeah. Well,
but that's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Ramador.
That was just 2 tweets. That was it for us in our Predict-A-MANIA special.
I'm excited.
I'm really jacked up, man.
I'm legit excited for this weekend.
We're going to have fun at Ryan's place at Mania Manor. And hey, if you enjoyed this, you're going to enjoy the fact that we are going to do a quick little recap after WrestleMania, probably from Mania Manor, live on location.
Should be ready for you Monday morning when you wake up.
It should be there Monday morning, and if you're so inclined, it'll be there really late on Monday night. If you got to drive home late from work like I do, save people with broken noses and stuff like that at 2 a.m, you'll probably be able to listen to our podcast right after that.
I like it.
If you're new to the show, from, say, Something to Wrestle, or from hearing us on the YouTube channel, and you've decided to subscribe, thank you so much. I always like to just do my little quick job to plea to you guys to go to iTunes, subscribe, rate 5 stars, leave us a positive review, and tell your friends. We get new listeners every week. This is the most downloaded show yet. Well, last week was the most downloaded show yet. Hopefully this is continuing that trend, and we continue to grow, and we're having fun doing this in our spare time for free for you guys. So tell everybody you know that you enjoy the ADCs of wrestling, and
hit us up on Twitter. We love it.
Yeah, ask us questions at ADCs of Wrestling, at Matt the Markiest, at Andrew David Cox on both Twitter and Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. You can find me there.
Hashtag just 2 tweets as well.
Yeah, all that great stuff. We'll see you next week, guys. Ball game.
Peace.
I'm not doing that with you this week. I'm not doing this shit with you this week.
It's already done. Woo!
Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by this guy I know? ADC, He likes wrestling. Let me tell you something, ADC. That's my Hulk Hogan.